about to enter the Red and Rev Sports Show experience. Get ready for some real sports talk from some real sports fans who were real sports athletes who have sports knowledge.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 379. Man, what we got on deck this week? Well, we got the conference finals winding down. We got the West final champ. Well, we got the West champion already set. Just waiting on the East to join them. Zion Williams, he back in the news again. And since the team ain't in the playoffs, it must be some bad news. We'll talk about overpaid players once again. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, who needs that ring more? Roddy White versus Kyle Shanahan. Roddy and Julio talking about the good old days. Jacob deGrom, Hall of Fame chances. Jurgensen profile on his way back. Is that good or bad? This with my boys, Red No, I'm Red. Back with my boys Rev and Coach. 5 for 5. Rev Night Crew. Episode 379. We alive. Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Red and Rev Sports Show. Red and Coach are coming to you live from the ATL Shorty. Getting real sports talk because we are real sports fans who are real sports athletes. We have what, gentlemen? Real
sports knowledge.
So hang out with your boys, Rev and Coach, for episode 379 of the Red and Red Sports Show, and as is our sports custom, we turn our numbers attention to our numerologist, Coach Patrick Thomas, to give us something or someone dealing with those 3 digits, 3, 7, and 9. What do you got for us, Coach?
All right. Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine? 379 goes to, as usual, 70s. Usually defensive players, and we got another big-time Hall of Fame defensive player who played for the hated Dallas Cowboys. He is on that same line with one Ed, Too Tall Jones. Didn't get a lot of pub, but he got enough to make the Hall of Fame. Number 79, he's a 3-time Super Bowl champion. Number 79, 379 in your books. Harvey Martin for the Dallas Cowboys. Played on that odd defensive line. Harvey Martin, number 79, 3-time Super Bowl winner, Dallas Cowboys.
Harvey Martin. All right. Your thoughts, Coach? Red, on Harvey Martin?
I heard of him before. Still not as good, not as good as the last two. So
Yeah. Well, next
Coach,
week you're gonna blow up.
I got high standards for you, Coach. After that Madden one,
You know it's gonna pick up next week.
380.
Yep.
Oh, I think I know who you're going with.
No comment.
I hope you pick somebody else with his boring self. I think I know who you're going with.
All right, check the chat, Coach, real quick.
Yes.
We want to thank Coach for 379, and we're going to move forward, and let's see if Revenite Nation is tuning in tonight or this morning, tripping. Good morning to Revenite Nation. Feel free to chime in. Let us know that you're tuning in so we can show you some love. And during the course of the show, feel free to post your comments so that you can engage in this real sports talk that we will be engaging in all show long. As well as please like and share. Please like and share this broadcast. As I tell my church family, I'm not going to ask you all to do anything that I'm not willing to do. So I'm going to like and share right now myself. Who knows, your share might bring somebody to the Red and Rev Sports Show and be a part of Revenite Nation. With that being said, we welcome Revenite Nation, even though we have nobody who's yet commented. So hopefully during the course of the show, somebody will comment to let us know that they are holding down Revenite Nation. Until then,
got a few YouTubers talking, I think.
Okay, well, if they type in the chat, I'll see it on this end, and we'll be able to post their chats. Yeah, we got some viewers, but we just don't see them posting in the chat yet. So I'm sure it will come as time goes on. With that being said, let's jump right into it, gentlemen. Dope, nope, and coat moments for this week. Coach, what are you doping on?
My dope moment goes to Marina Mabry for the Connecticut Sun, who as yet were previously winless. And she showed up with a big game last night to get the Connecticut Sun finally. They were the last team that hadn't won a game in the WNBA, but finally they're on the winner's block as they beat the Indiana Fever last night, 85-83. So she was a big for her and Tina Charles. I'm going to give it to Marina Mabry for the Connecticut Sun.
All right, Coach.
Excellent. Absolutely excellent.
Red, what are you doping on?
I'm doping on. I can't believe I don't really have too creative of a dope. I guess I'm doping on Chris Sale this week. Number one being the only positive bright spot for my Braves, and then recording this 2,500 strikeout and the fastest to do so. Man, that's a good job, Chris Sale. I didn't realize you was on that type of pace, but hopefully your arm can stay healthy for a few more years, and maybe you can get to 3,000 and increase your Hall of Fame chances. But I think you may need to get one more ring and definitely get up to that 3,000 for the Hall of Fame consideration. But I'm pulling for you. Good job, Chris Sale, because man, you got one of the few bright spots I can talk about for my Braves this week. Maybe I can think about something else when the Braves report comes, but I doubt it. So dope to Chris Sale. The rest of the Braves, they playing like they smoking dope. So
excellent. Absolutely excellent.
All right, Red, you just took my dope because that's all I really wanted to dope on
Oh,
was Chris Sale as
bad,
well. It's all good.
Go ahead,
all
you
good.
can elaborate even more.
No. You got it. I'm gonna just dope on. We'll talk about them in a second. The Oklahoma City Thunder taking care of business, beating the Minnesota Timberwolves in 5, and basically transforming Ant-Man into Humble Man. And we didn't see a lot of his antics after Game 5, and you could tell that he realized the better team beat him because a lot of his swag was sucked away during the course of this particular series. So I'm a dope on Oklahoma City Thunder handling their business.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Red, what are you noping on?
I am noping on one Mary Lou Retton.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
That Mary Lou Retton. Oh my God. Out of all the news I thought I would never hear, especially this week, driving to the hand doctor. Who do I hear on the police blog? Who do I hear has been arrested for DUI? Yeah, our very own 1984 Olympic darling, former Hollywood Square. You'd be right there in the center square, not the center square, but right there on the side. I remember Mary Lou Retton. Oh, Mary, I'm so disappointed in you. You hear Coach crying. We all disappointed in you. Come on, Mary. Not you, man. What's next? Dominique Dawes. On Simone Biles. We're gonna have all our Olympic folks getting busted. Now, I hope not, but Mary Lou, we don't need you starting the chain reaction, okay? So go ahead. Take care of your plea. I don't know what you pleaded not guilty for anyway. Shoot, obviously you were guilty. You doggone paid the doggone plea fine. So I don't understand that plea at all. But Mary, don't drag this out, okay? Take care of your fine, plead no contest, and let's get this over with. We need to be hearing about this 2 or 3 months later. You go in the court trying to fight it. We can't find a police officer. They just let you off on a technicality. Get this over with, Mary, so you can get your name out of this negative press. Okay, but anyway, we're very disappointed in you. Do better. Let's go, Mary Lou Retton.
Mary.
Oh, Mary.
All right. I just got to keep this train going where I got a note on, once again, Raisel Iglesias.
Oh, Lord. Choo-choo.
Once again, he came in the game this past week, did not help his ERA. His ERA as a closer is still at 5.97.
Oh,
It went down last week to 5.8 something, but once again, as he does, he got in a game where it was a blowout, and what did he do? He still gave up a run when the Braves won that one game against the Phillies. Come on, Braves. I got some more for you, Braves, during my coat moment, but I'm going to just pause right there because I have to note on Iglesias continuously being the closer for the Atlanta Braves. And it's probably good that the Braves are not winning many games because your ERA would be up even more if they kept bringing you in the game to try to close out games. So that's my note moment for this week. Coach, what are you noping on?
Well, I got a shocking note for y'all. My note moment goes to Pittsburgh Steelers. Can somebody tell me why the Steelers, who have 3 serviceable tight ends, are pursuing wasting money on another tight end because he's had a good year, one good year in Miami? I'm trying to figure this thing out. There's got to be a method to the madness because you got Washington, Hayward, Frymouth, and now you're going to have Jonnu Davis in Miami. To use my favorite term when I was teaching, I have concerns. I'm trying to figure out the method of what they got going on, and plus who's going to throw to them. So my no more goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I hope they're not wasting money going out and getting another tight end when that's not a need right now. But hey, maybe something, I don't know. I'm not in the front office, so I don't know.
All righty then.
No!
Coach, I think you might want to brace yourself. They may be really preparing for Mason Rudolph to be the starting quarterback, and they might be playing 3 tight ends formation.
Yeah.
That might be what's going on.
Old back in the day football.
They may be really going old school. All right. I got to cope with the fact that, again, even with Ronald Acuna back, with Strider back for the Braves, I can't take them seriously as championship contenders as long as Eli White finds a way in the lineup. As long as they're trying to use a backup shortstop and try to fool us like he's an everyday shortstop, Nick Allen. As long as we have players like Fairchild on the roster and getting opportunities in the batting order, I can't take the Braves seriously as a championship contender. And then, of course, I can't take them serious as long as Iglesias is the closer. So, AA, the joke is now on you when you tried to fool us before the season started. Because now this thing is unraveling. And it's unraveling quickly. And we have met the Coach Patrick Thomas threshold is past Memorial Day.
Yes.
And we see what we see. And it's not looking good. So, AA, I need you to start lighting up these phones. I need you to retool this bullpen because all of these retreads that you tried to replace serviceable bullpen people with, it's not working. And Hernandez about to be out of here too because this dude can't find the strike zone. He walking bases loaded almost every time you get out to pitch now. So it's just starting to really crumble. And I'll save the rest for Red in his Braves report. Coach, what are you coping with?
I'm coping with the fact that there's a lot of very physical play in the WNBA is leading to some injuries. Most notably, Paige Beckers is out with concussion protocol. And I don't know if it's the refs or just the uptake in physical play that the girls are trying to do to win ball games, but it's starting to show. You got Nafisa Kari had to sit down with a knee injury. I don't think that was because of the physical, but she's out. And your main players are starting to suffer just a bit. But hey, that's when the other girls got to step up. But I know they're going to cope with it because I know attendance, especially in the Caitlin Clark thing, where a ticket dropped from $85 to $21. I'm like, ooh, they can't afford that to happen right now. Not when there's this renaissance in WNBA basketball. So I guess the WNBA going to cope with these sudden trends and changes losing players, I guess.
No, coach. Like they said, Caitlin ain't doing nothing. It's the other girls in the league. It's the camaraderie, it's the teamwork. That's what's getting the WNBA popular now. It ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin. So we'll see, y'all. We'll see if that teamwork and camaraderie. We'll see if that's still selling out these arenas in the next few weeks. Everybody says Caitlin don't have nothing to do with that. We gonna see.
Like I'm so tired.
Rev, get your pen ready so we can write down how many sellouts we see over the next few weeks. How many big time stadiums are sold out over the next few weeks, and then we'll know.
Well, the Mystics just took an L this past week. They moved their game from DC to Baltimore, expecting more fans, and Caitlin didn't play because she was injured. Like
Yep.
this is what we have to do. First of all, in a lot of these Facebook chats, they're having conversations about the WNBA that they never had in years past. You want to know why you're having these conversations? Because Caitlin Clark has made the league popular. Period. That's why you're chatting about the WNBA. That's why we still stay on during the summer now because of the WNBA, because of Caitlin Clark. I mean, let's
Caitlin better hurry get back. But we gotta take a break.
We'll take a hiatus for real. But we got, I mean, we as Black folk got to stop the hate. Like, yes, A'ja Wilson is probably on paper the best player in the league, but she's not box office like Caitlin Clark. And I tried to tell one dude in one of those sports chats, I said, now you try to tell me A'ja Wilson is more box office than Caitlin Clark when the Fever went to play the Aces last year, they went in and rented out another arena, not because of A'ja Wilson, but that was because of Caitlin Clark coming.
Right.
If A'ja could fill it up herself, they would play all their games in the arena where they had the game against the Fever.
Mm-hmm.
Every Indiana Fever game is played in the NBA arena and it's sold out.
Yep.
Like, let's stop the foolishness, man. You know, and we're showing where we're losing credibility in certain conversations as Black folk. Well, we can't just give credit where credit is due. Like, I'm pro-Black. I push Black agendas. But the bottom line is Caitlin Clark is not getting this press just because she was white. She is the most entertaining player in the league, period, white or Black. She has a skill set that no other player in the WNBA has, such as she shoots like Steph Curry, she has range like Steph Curry, and she can pass like Steve Nash. Nobody else in the league has that combination. Nobody else in the league do you want to play triple the amount of the face value on a ticket than Caitlin Clark. So we got to be a little bit more genuine and stop with the race baiting on this particular topic, because we as Black people are losing credibility on this topic right here when we just can't give credit where credit is due. All right. I'm just gonna pause on that. Rev, finish us up with the Colt moment. Revenite Nation, we're coming to you all next.
Okay. My Colt moment. Well, not my Colt moment, but if you coaching, managing the game in the Oakland A's stadium in Sacramento, and you just happen to get ejected, boy, do you got to cope with a long walk to the outfield to walk out the stadium, because the clubhouses aren't downstairs or in the back of the dugouts like most stadiums. No, they're outside the stadium. So you got to walk all the way from your dugout, past the fans, all the way through the outfield. This is when the manager gets ejected now, all the way to the clubhouse. It's a long, embarrassing walk that I saw Mark Kotsay do this week. And all I gotta say is, man, dude, all those thoughts that go in your head when you got to make that long walk. It ain't just turning around, giving you your little card to the bench coach and going down the steps. Nope. You got to go up and walk all the way out the stadium when you get ejected. So when you manage it at A Stadium or in Sacramento managers, probably try to keep your emotions in check so you won't have to take the same long walk that Mark Coxey had to take this week. Oh boy, Oakland A's, what does it get better and better? Hopefully, when you move into your new stadium in Vegas in a few years, but boy, Oakland A's, coping.
Game over, man. Game over.
All right. Let's go to Revenite Nation, see what they're talking about on today. We see that they have joined us in progress, and we're grateful for their presence. We got some folk. 3 Dirty, what's up over there on YouTube?
What up, 3 Dirty?
Sister Harris still chiming in.
How you
Good
doing,
morning
Miss
to
Harris?
you. Hoping you're feeling better. What's up, Brother Jameson? Glad to have you, aka Joe Black. Good morning to the president. He said he had to wrestle in my armor-plated platypus. He was a little cranky this morning. All right, the president said Dope and Otani and Judge became the first running MVPs to home in the same game and same inning. Wow. VP said he's checking in for a hot second, slam down the gavel to keep the fire episode going. The Red and Real Sports Show, Revenite Nation, rise up. Have a great show, y'all. Appreciate you. He's doping on LSU Shreveport winning the NAIA World Series. I think that may be one of the first NAIA references in Red and Rev Sports Show history. The president is doping on Charlie Woods wins his first American Junior Golf Tournament. All right. That would be one Tiger Woods' son, right?
That's
Yep.
right.
The VP is noping on Halliburton finishing with the most mediocre performance in the series. 8 points. Take those points and shove them up your yellow behind. Shameful. Kobe and MJ would never. And that was right after one of his most epic performances because actually I was going to dope on him if he had not just noped his next performance because the dude had like 30 some odd points, 15 assists, and 0 turnovers. Do you know how hard it is to have a 15-0 assist to turnover ratio? That's unheard of, and I think he was the only player to do it in history. The president is noping on, as reference, Mary Lou Retton. Her work on the balance beam did not help this time. Is noping on the Braves are falconing. Dante, what's going on? Said, Red, adding to your point, Clark being out for 2 weeks will cost the WNBA millions. 2 weeks, they better protect that young lady. The president is coping with Angel Reese, sets a record to become the fastest to 500 points and 500 rebounds. 450 rebounds are probably her own. That's hilarious. It said Brick Mason Barbie, hashtag Mario World Barbie, hashtag bricks no coins. And we're also, he says, Caitlin Clark at the game sitting on the bench injured, still sells out more games with the healthy Angel Reese. And that would probably be facts. Those are the facts. So thank you, Revenite Nation, for giving us your dope, nope, and coat. And thank you, Mr. President, for giving us our good laughs that we needed on today. So let's jump into these NBA conference finals. And I don't think any of us saw a gentleman's sweep coming with the Western Conference Finals. OKC gave the Timberwolves that short work, like very short work. And really none of the games were competitive. Some can argue that OKC may have mailed in game 3 when they, got beat pretty good, but then came back and beat the Timberwolves in Minnesota and then close it out in Oklahoma City. So, Coach, I'll start with you. Were you surprised at the outcome of the series, not once the series started, but from what you may have predicted before the series and how the series wound up ending? were you very surprised, and what are your observations that you take away from that series?
Yeah, I was a bit shocked because I thought Minnesota's size would help them in this tournament. But then you got again Rudy Gobert, like I called him last week, biggest example of nothing since the invention of the zero, who did absolutely nothing in this thing. Julius Randle, one game you're up, one game you're down. Anthony Edwards, you tried, but you just can't do what you did and expect that to be enough. Oklahoma City is a pure, unadulterated, 100% team, and they play like a team. They give everybody credit. They don't care who scores most. They don't care who does what, as long as they win at the end of the day. And that's a dangerous setting for anybody trying to play them. And Minnesota couldn't compete with it. Unfortunately, I thought they would be much better. But then game 5, that was a white flag waving game from the start. They waved a white flag in the first quarter. And Chris Finch and all of you, I know everybody said, oh, Minnesota got to the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row. That's what you do when you get there. You happy to get to the finals, and then you say, oh, well, like Anthony Edwards say, I'm just 23. I got time. So, Mr. Edwards, I got a question for you. You 23. You say you got time. So, Oklahoma City is leaving. The Lakers, Denver, all those teams are shutting down, and you're gonna be the only team left in the playoffs since you say you got time. No guarantee you're gonna beat those teams next year or the year after that or the year after that. So Oklahoma City, you deserve to go to the finals because you did what you're supposed to do. Nat with a sledgehammer.
Red, give us your thoughts.
Coach pretty much said it all for pretty much the whole series. I'll add that I'm not gonna say I'm not surprised, but I'm surprised the series ended in 5, but I'm not surprised of OKC's dominance and prowess and just overall the overall play. I mean, they've been playing this way the whole year, and they just proved that they're not a fluke. They also proved that Denver Nuggets they also proved Real's favorite point that the NBA playoffs always comes down to matchups, and with the exception of that Denver Nuggets series, OKC's matched up pretty well against everybody. Yeah, Denver took them 7 games, but man, everybody else they wiped away quickly. I think they wiped away that first round and the Memphis in 4 games. Got rid of the Ant Boy in 5 games. Denver, like I say, Denver played them well. So I guess they match up well with them. But everybody else, man, it's been nothing but a relaxation. Memphis and Timberwolves put together, both of them got up out of here in 9 games combined. Last 2 games for the Ant guy, it's not been Jordan like, man. Folks been comparing you to Michael Jordan. Dude, your last 2 games, 16 points in one, 19 points in the other, a combined 2 for 14 from 3-point. Dude, that's not even Kobe, much less Jordan. So back to the drawing board, Ant boy. Hopefully you can handle your personal life a little better, and maybe some better luck will come to you when you get to the conference finals. But for right now, dude, you are what 2 games last year from Dallas and 1 game this year, so you were 3-8 in NBA in the conference finals round. That ain't good, man. So you do all your hype boy stuff before the conference finals, and when the conference finals come, you seem like you completely lay an egg. So that's got to change if you want to be thought of as one of the top echelon players. But like I say, I feel like if you take care of some things off the court, you do a better job in that area, you'll probably have a little better luck. I'm not gonna start preaching to you and whatnot, but dude, I don't want to be dogging you out forever. So take care of your handle your business, man. Take care of your things off the court and come back and have a clearer mind, much better mindset. Like I said, you do right by your family, man. You have also good luck, man. You do your family wrong, and ain't no good things gonna happen for you. Anthony. So, and I want good things to happen for you from Atlanta, and I don't want people to think I'm hating on the Atlanta boy like this. I don't want to hate on you, but man, from the type of guy I am, man, it won't allow me to cheer for what you stand for on that particular topic right there. So that being said, Minnesota, I think they got a good foundation. Like I say, Ant was a decent player. You probably have to get another star to go with him. And Julius Randle, he was just as inconsistent as Karl Anthony Towns was last year. So I don't know if they're gonna run it back with Randle or they're gonna make another move for another sidekick for him. See, like he getting different sidekicks every year. What are they gonna do with Mike Conley? Is it time for him to give it up and go on to ESPN when he got a job waiting for him? We'll see. But like I say, man, OKC just proved the overall dominance as they've been doing all year, and Minnesota just happened to be in their way this time. But good job, OKC. SGA MVP, definitely living up to that hype. And we'll see, man. This OKC coach, man, I don't know where he came from, but dude, but he's gonna be. He keep doing this every year with this team. We're gonna definitely know his name soon. So, like I say, you gotta tip your hat to OKC, and we'll see how the Timberwolves rebound from this latest conference finals failure.
All righty. You talking about Mark DeJournette or something like that?
Yeah, Mark DeJournette.
That's his name. One of the things that I think is going to be critical for Ant-Man, I don't know in your comments if you were intentionally doing this, Red, but you kept calling him Ant Boy. I don't know if you were intentionally saying that, but one thing about Anthony Ant-Man is I like how he said he's going to work in the gym. He's going to work harder than anyone. But the caveat to that is he going to work on his basketball IQ? Because that's what's suffering. Like he is wearing himself out with all that unnecessary dribbling that he's doing just to get off a shot. Like that's where these comparisons to Jordan need to stop, because one thing that Jordan had, he had a very high basketball IQ. Ant-Man has athleticism that can be on a Jordan-like level, but he does not have the basketball IQ. He wore himself out just dribbling between his legs, and if I were his teammate, I would hate playing with them because I don't know when he's going to pass the ball, because it's like it's a last resort rather than that's part of his plan is to pass the ball. It's like, okay, I didn't get by anybody after I dribbled the ball between my legs 15 times, so now I'm going to pass it. So that's number one with Ant-Man, that he's going to have to get a better basketball IQ. Some folk are believing like the way he responds, such as, he doesn't really take constructive criticism well and doesn't really say he did anything badly. They say that that's part of a defense mechanism that he has, and that's probably true, because one of the things we got to take into consideration, even with the off-the-court stuff, is we see the harmful effect when you're not raised by a strong man. And I think that's part of Ant-Man's problems, that he was not raised by a strong man. When you're raised by a strong man, you learn how to take accountability. You take responsibility for your actions. and you also recognize that there are consequences for your actions. And unfortunately, that piece of Ant-Man's life was not solidified by someone solid, which is why he doesn't take ownership of certain things basketball related, and he's gone about how he's gone about doing family business off the court. So, that's one of the things that will allow me to have some level of compassion for him, because I know how important a father figure is. Like, I know that I would not be where I am in my life if it weren't for the father figure that I was blessed to have. And I could easily be in Ant-Man's shoes making some dumb decisions. I could have easily not been the father that I am to my daughter currently if I didn't have a great father in my life. So, I want us not to lose that in our discussion, because, your background, your upbringing does matter, and it informs how you go about doing life.
Yeah, you're right, Real.
Dante said Edwards needs a vet that's on his level or better. Yeah, I would agree. The question is, who would that be? Who would that be? Yeah, and it got to be somebody he'll listen to too. So that's the biggest problem.
They were saying Durant. Trying to what would Durant look like over there? And I remember the discussion we had last week about that.
Absolutely not, man. Durant might hate Ant-Man when it's all said and done, because Ant-Man is verbal, Durant is not. And Ant-Man needs a verbal superstar who can sit him down and say, look, man, relax, chill out. Somebody who he respect. Like, the only person currently that I could see it working in that manner would be someone like a Steph Curry. That's the only one. And Steph getting old, but he still got the game and the credibility. Yeah. And then he also remembers what Steph did to help him get a gold medal too. So, I think that's where Steph's credibility goes a little bit. But for long term, to your point, Red, it wouldn't be beneficial, because Steph is looking retirement in the eyes sooner than later.
Yeah.
Dante said it's definitely easier said than done. Now, Edwards would still be the leader of the team with Durant. And that's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to this Eastern Conference Finals. The Knicks have shown some grit, have shown some heart. They were down 3-1 after an epic collapse in game 1. And now they have won both games 4 and 5, taking this series back to Indiana, where Indiana will host the Knicks on tonight. Red, I'm going to start with you. Your thoughts on this series and your thoughts on tonight's game. Will your prediction manifest itself? Because I believe you said pace. Did you say Knicks in 6? Yeah, you said Knicks in 6. Did you say? Yeah. I don't think you said Pacers in 6.
Yeah, I think I did. I think I did take the Knicks, because me and you were so excited about the finals being back in New York that we said, if ain't gonna let this moment pass. But you're right. I think I did. So thank you, Knicks, for making a fool out of me. It's just like you done made a fool out of all your fans, a fool out of Spike Lee once again. Look, Timothy Chalamet, I appreciate you trying to pump your name up, and you're doing a good job by being at all the Knicks games. No, I'm still not going to see the Bob Dylan movie, but I appreciate Timothy Chalamet trying to pump his fandom up and his name and his Hollywood name by being courtside with all the Knicks games. Thanks for going to Indiana with your shades on, sitting next to Ben Stiller. Yeah, that's a good guy to sit next to if you want to pump your name up. So I guess we'll look forward to Timothy Chalamet and Ben Stiller doing the movie. If Timothy Chalamet appears in the next Meet the Parents, we'll know why him and Ben Stiller was sitting together at the Knicks game. But anyway, that being said, forget the Hollywood deals. How about the Hollywood embarrassment that these Knicks are doing? I mean, the Knicks, you pretty much had a finals trip punt ticket punch for you. and you come out and you pretty much let game one get away. You choke that one away. You go down 2-0. You get back to Indy, and it looked like you about to make the series out of it when you win game 3. But Indy said, nope. Halliburton put on the performance of his life. Siakam and the rest of the boys join them. They go up 3-1. And to me, the series was done after that. I'm not surprised the Pacers pretty much went through the motions in game 5. They pretty much played with no passion, no intent. If you think that's the same Indy team that we're going to see tonight, the one that you saw in this game right here, you're fooling yourselves, okay? No, Halliburton is not going to come out and have another 8 points with his dad in the house, okay? No, I don't know. I think the Knicks got in foul trouble or something. That's why they were allowed to. Maybe that's why Tibbs, switched his lineup a little bit. But like I say, the Pacers team that you saw in Game 5 is not gonna see the Pacers. Not gonna be the Pacers team you're gonna see tonight. I think it's over with. I think it ends tonight. Knicks, you had the chance, you blew it. Like De Niro said in Copland, you blew it. Okay, now Indy and OKC about to meet up in the finals. The NBA is gonna be pretty upset because they ain't gonna have no cash cows in the finals. I don't know if Mike Epps wanna come back and pretend like he's the Pacers' #1 fan. I don't know who OKC's celebrity fan is right now, but we're gonna have to find one. But man, this finals is about to be a complete bore, except for the play on the court. We're not gonna have no off the field, nothing, no big time celebrities sitting courtside. That's all we're gonna see. You're gonna see OKC calling back old players to come back, and just like Indy was calling back old players the other night. But Indy and OKC are set for the NBA Finals. In the NBA, you have nobody but the Knicks to blame. So there it is, New York. Your embarrassment once again.
Coach, jump in there.
Knicks gonna win tonight, and because Indiana had that chance, Halliburton was riding that high game. And then he comes out and lays an egg. Now, he can't keep trying to, that thing they talked about, superstar. He can't be a superstar when he like a faucet. He turned on hot water one game, and then he turned on cold the next game. You can't be a superstar like that. You're supposed to take over that game. And he looked passive. Now, of course, he's going to get in Indiana. They're going to be at home. He's going to try to show everybody why he's a great player. But I think they missed a chance, and the Knicks are going to take it back in Game 7, and then who knows what's going to happen in Game 7. This series ain't over. They had that chance. Indiana had the momentum. They should have put the Knicks away, and now you got Karl Anthony Towns. That's going to be the series right there, part of it too. If what's his name, Miles Turner don't play any better against Karl Anthony Towns, they ain't got a chance because he destroyed Turner. Turner had 3.3 blocks, something like that. And Karl Anthony Towns is revitalized. The Indiana Pacers are going to let this get back to Game 7 and then flip a coin on that one.
Yeah, I think Coach Tibbs, has helped the Knicks by expanding his bench, which is now neutralizing Indiana's bench because Indiana had the depth advantage while the Knicks had the star advantage. And now with him trusting his bench, and like Red just said, by having no choice, it's allowed the Knicks to be more competitive. Landry Shamet has played well. Miles McBride. Then you got the big guy. What's his name? Misses a lot of free throws.
Mitchell Robinson.
Robinson. Yeah.
Robinson.
Yeah. So just even, and then Precious Achiuwa coming in big. That gives another big body. So expanding the roster to 9, that does a whole lot than just playing 7. And then they're giving you good minutes. And then one person I have to give credit to is Jalen Brunson for taking some pride in his defense in game 5. Like at some point, you got to stop allowing people to abuse you on defense. Take some pride. They kept trying to pick and roll, having him be the one to defend the primary ball handler. He was fighting through screens, so he didn't have to be the primary defender. And, that's what basketball used to be. Like back in the day, you were taught to fight through screens. Like you rarely switched on a pick. You were taught how to either slip the screen, go over the screen, so forth and so on, so that you don't, and then you were taught how to avoid getting picked. But now these guys don't even have any fight. They normally just switch automatically. And I guess Tibbs basically said, Brunson, do you want to go home? You're going to go home if you keep on switching. So fight through those screens. And he did a wonderful job of doing so. And they did a wonderful job picking up Halliburton before half court, which probably wore him down. And Halliburton definitely gave Stephen A. Smith ammunition to fall on that sword that he is not, or not to fall on that sword that Halliburton is not an superstar, because he had a lot of ammunition after game 4 with the stats that he put up. But game 5, that's a travesty, man, where you don't even hit double figures in the playoffs and you only take 7 shots. That's utterly ridiculous if we're going to put a big S to your superstar. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out victorious tonight. Coach, who do you have winning tonight?
The Knicks.
You got the Knicks and Red. Who you got winning tonight?
I am dump the Knicks like the fans need to dump them. I am done with them. It is going to be the Pacers. Coach, I'm going to be posting on your page. I told you so. Knicks ain't going to be no game 7. And I'm telling you, this is going to be the main reason why, y'all. The Knicks have an audacity. They've already printed some game 7 hats. See, that's why. That's why there ain't gonna be no game. And I'm gonna post. I got the hat saved too. As soon as the Pacers eliminate them tonight, I'm gonna post y'all the reason why they got eliminated too. So, Coach, I might tag you in the post too and say, "See, Coach, this the reason why it ain't gonna be no game 7."
All right, Dante said, "Coach, if tonight's game was
But I got the Pacers.
I agree, but this game is in Indy. They didn't blow their chance of winning the series. If they let it get back to New York, it'll be a blown chance." Rex said the guy named Coach is a clown of epic proportions.
Rex, I don't like you.
So obviously, Coach and Rex are friends. For Coach to just laugh.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Make it like that.
They're clearly friends. But I'm going to go with the Knicks tonight because they have what Dick Vitale used to say. They got Uncle Momentum.
Hey, y'all just want game 7.
Well, I do want
a game 7.
I do want a game 7, so there'll be more basketball. But, I mean, I need to see Indiana make an adjustment to the Knicks making their adjustment of expanding their bench. See, that's the key. Yeah. They had a much bigger advantage when you got Karl Anthony Towns and Brunson on the court for almost the majority of the game. And then with them being both defensive liabilities, that increases the Indiana Pacers' chances of winning. But now they're staggering them. So they're no longer having 2 defensive liabilities on the court for an extended period of time, which takes away some of the Pacers' advantage. Mm-hmm. So, you can't feast on Brunson, or you just can't feast on Karl Anthony Towns. So that's going to be interesting to see if Rick Carlisle and the Pacers make the adjustment. If they don't make a serious adjustment, then the Knicks will probably go on and win this series. Rex says the Knicks must slow the game down and Cat must stay out of foul trouble. Then there might be a game 7. All right, like I said, 7.
I agree with that now. If it's a slow pace, that works in the Knicks' favor. If it's not running up and down the court like the Pacers do, yeah, that definitely favors the Knicks. Oh man, if they forced a game 7, wow, yeah, they would have blown the chance.
Well, you talk about New York City being on fire if they get the
Oh,
game 7.
Hey,
Lord.
now that might be the only reason I want to see a game 7, just to see how far New York gonna be up. I like to see cities get up for their teams, and boy, a game 7, I know that town gonna be on fire. But what's gonna be Monday? It'll be Monday night. Oh
Monday
man.
night. So real quickly in 30 seconds, which Eastern Conference team do you think would give OKC the best competition in the NBA Finals? Coach, I'll start with you.
I mean, probably Indiana because they can run with them, or they can try to run with them. They got that agile offense who just up and down the court, and then that's how Oklahoma City is. Once that ball comes off the goal in Oklahoma City, it's gone. It's heading up the court for a shot or layup or something. So yeah, that the Knicks they will be pressed to try to play that T of 6-man rotation against Oklahoma City because it wouldn't work.
All right, Red, your thoughts. Who give OKC the better competition?
Coach, that's a nice point. Actually, a great point. But honestly, I think the Pacers would be a dilemma for. No, I think OKC would be a dilemma for the Pacers because I think they match up so doggone well. They're kind of similar to each other, and as we can both see, Indy is I want to say the bootleg OKC because they don't have OKC ain't gonna have too many games like Indy had the other night where SGA just gonna come out and score 8 points. But both teams are athletic. Both teams can get up and down the court. I'm gonna say the Knicks would probably be a dilemma for OKC because Rev, if you think about it, the Knicks probably play more like the Nuggets, and the Nuggets are the ones that took them to 7 games. Well, you got a big dominant man with Mitchell and Cat in the middle, and you got a point guard who can make life hard on everybody offensively, and Jaylen Brown like Jamal Murray for the Nuggets. Now, and then you got the only thing that was holding Knicks back would be Tibbs running that 6-man rotation. If Tibbs run a 9-man rotation, kind of similar to what Denver does, or at least expand his bench, then I think the Knicks would be more of a problem for OKC than the Pacers, because the Pacers, you just don't you just don't never know what Pacer team you're gonna get. And if they come out lollygagging against OKC, they gonna get ran up out the building. Probably gonna get ran up out of there in 5 games. With the Knicks, Knicks just made they size and just their better defense might get it to 6 games. I don't know if they're gonna win the series, but at least I don't think it'll be over with in 4 and 5 games. I don't think.
All right, I got to go with that assessment. I think I'm gonna go with the Knicks as well. I think star power, and stout star power affects Oklahoma City. Like, as I shared earlier, Red alluded to it. The NBA playoffs, it's more about matchups. And some folk like Colin Cowherd, I think he was dead wrong, where he was trying to say like a team like the Los Angeles Lakers are not really close because they got beat by the same team that Oklahoma City just ran through. But the teams are not the same. Like, it's harder for the OKC Thunder to match up with LeBron and Luka. Those are 2 big bodies who can make things happen. And I think, to Red's point, it's going to be tiring to try to guard Jalen Brunson. It's going to be tiring for Hartenstein or Chet Holmgren to guard Cat when, he's a lot bigger than the 2 of them and is actually better. So it's going to be interesting to see how that matchup will play out. I think on paper, OKC has more talent, but when you start looking at those 2 superstars in Brunson and Towns, or I'll call them stars more than superstars, they're going to be a tough duo to stop over a 7-game series. So I would lean more to the Knicks. Let me get these comments and then we'll go to halftime. Rex says the Knicks must slow the game down. I think we read that one. Yep. Joe Black said if it's close, I think the Knicks will get the calls to win. The league wants the Knicks in the finals. The Pacers will have to win by 30 to win by 5.
I agree with that.
Rex says if the Pacers turn the Knickerbockers over early and often, we can turn our TVs and mobile devices to PBS. Good morning to you, Maurice Thor. Glad to have you on the show. Rex said the trout-eating Maurice Thor is well, it's funny. Said let's go Knickerbockers. He said something else, but I'm gonna say another way. Rev, let's keep my Lakers out of your yap, bro. No, I'm gonna keep it.
First of all, they're my Lakers, Rick, not just yours. You see who the one got the Kobe hat on, okay?
Yeah, I just called it the way I see it. And actually, if you listen and not get defensive, I was actually defending your team that they are a better.
Right. You was actually stepping up. What are you talking about, Rick?
Yeah, you got to listen. Just don't listen for your team's name. Listen to what's being said about the name, and that will go a long way. He corrected himself.
Rex is a very cynical guy. He's smart as all I do. He's cynical. He's going to always make little smart comments just to mess with everybody.
Kind of like remind me of Anthony Corey. What he had to do.
All right. He said, I know, Rev. Don't take me seriously at all.
See?
Duly noted. Duly noted. All right, gentlemen, we're going to pause right here for halftime on the Red and Red Sports Show. On the other side of the show, we got the Braves report. We got 5-5. We got some football talk. We got some more baseball talk. And we got some NBA talk on the other side. So hang out with your boys, Red, Rev, and Coach for the other side of the Red and Rev Sports Show featuring Coach. We'll be right back.
Take me to the other side.
And we are back for the second half of the Red and Rev Sports Show. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all so much, Reverend Nation, for all of your comments that you have shared to help the show be either funnier or more factual. So we truly appreciate what you all are doing. And as is our custom during baseball season, we're going to get ready for our Braves report. That Red Dog will be leading us, and no telling what that report is going to look like since the Braves didn't give him a lot of positive material to work with this week. So in 5, 4, 3,
Boy,
2, 1,
take my
here's
depression.
our Braves report.
Where my pee?
It's game time. It's GT.
You see where I'm looking? That's where my chop going. To the back. Not giving you no chop to the front because that's where you going. Like I said last week, you still going back there. Oh boy, another week, another bad Braves report, guys. Oh man, I told you, boy. I'll tell you, I'm gonna have to go to the pharmacist and give me some depression pills, man, some pain pills. So I'm talking about these guys. One in we had 3, 4 games this week. 1 in 3. Let me see. Yeah. 4 games this week. 1 in 3 of them. I went 1 in 3 in all 4 games. The one game we win, like I mentioned, Chris Sale earlier. Other games, oh my God! I tell you, it's just to the point now. Like Real said, Alex, dude, you got work to do, and I'm not even talking about this season, man. You got the work to do going forward because it gets to the point where we might need to retool this thing and just start from the bottom and rebuild it again. Because the farm system ain't got nothing. It's bare. And then what I see up here on the main team, it's looking like we don't have too much, and what we do have is not consistent. So we really don't know what we got. I mean, the pitchers, you don't let Max Fried get away, a guy leading baseball in ERA right now. Just let him walk right on up out the door. Why? Because you think we got enough. What in the world would make you think that we have enough? When all these guys behind Chris Sale and Max Fried are nothing but guys. Rev, that's what I'm starting to figure out now. They're just nothing but guys. I don't see any stars or any future Cy Young Award winners coming up. I thought we had found something in Spencer Schulenbach. No, he don't resort it back to his usual self. He's just a guy, okay? Ronaldo Lopez, you're not even playing, but in the end, he just a guy. Grant Holmes, again, just a guy. Bryce Elder, just a guy. AJ Smith-Shawver, he just a guy, but we can't even keep him healthy. He back on the IL once again. And guess who noticed it was something going on with AJ Smith-Shawver? It wasn't the manager. It wasn't the pitching coach. It was another injured pitcher, Spencer Strider. He's the one who noticed there was something off with AJ Smith-Shawver and told the Braves to take another look at him. And wow, he's has a tear in his UCL and probably gonna need Tommy John surgery. So we don't lost him for probably another year and a half. I'm telling you, this entire pitching rotation is a joke, man. A doggone joke. Like Rev said, you trying to don't ask us to take you guys seriously when you putting out Raisel Iglesias and those bums in the bullpen. Don't ask me to take you seriously when you putting out them bums in the starting rotation. I mean, besides Chris Sale, we have nobody we can believe in. Don't talk to me. I told you, Grant Holmes, Schulenbach, Shawver, all of these bums, you can put them all on the same tier. They're not reliable at all. They'll give you something one game. They'll look like pure crap the next game. The bats, and like I said, the bats ain't going to carry us, which where all the money at. If the money guy's not going to carry us, Braves, we have no chance. No chance. As you can see, when we play the top teams, we have no chance at all. How in the world are we going to have a chance when our closer got an ERA higher than mountain, the top layers of the mountains? How you gonna win when your backs go to sleep most games? How you gonna win when you only have one consistent starter? How you gonna win when you got a manager that's dumb and over the hill is dirt? This is ridiculous. And how you gonna win when you got a GM who's so far up his butt, he'd be so blind with all the boo-boo in his face, man. This is ridiculous, dog. Our GM is clueless. Our manager don't have a clue. Our bats are inconsistent. Our pitcher rotation is trash. Our bullpen is trash. Our minor league is bare. Well, tell me, where's the positive at? Because I just don't see it. It's maybe time for a GM change, and it may be time for another retooling or rebuilding, because I just don't see what we can repeat 2021, and I just don't see what we can repeat the offense of 2023. So if we're not going to win, if we're not winning World Series, we're not doing anything. And the Braves, we ain't doing anything right now but losing games, hanging around in third and fourth place. We're in fourth place now after Washington Nationals are ahead of us. Eventually, the Marlins going to jump us. And then what we going to say? We got the All-Star game here in about a month. And, man, if we be lucky if we have one or two Braves on the team. This is just not going to be a good summer for Braves baseball. And I, for one, am so embarrassed and just so disappointed by this. I am hurt. Falcons, please, football, hurry up and come back. Falcons, I need you, baby. Come on back. I never thought I'd say, but, man, I am so ready for football to begin. And some tell me it's going to be a long football offseason because we got to sit here and look at these sorry Braves for the next 2 or 3 months. And I don't want to do it.
All right, Coach, it's time for you to start talking. Can you unmute yourself, sir?
Okay.
Come on, Coach, you got to talk about it.
All right. Here we go. It is Memorial Day. Well, it's June now, about to be June the 1st. And I will bring you a bright spot in the Braves. There is one, Ronald Acuna. There's one. There's two, really. And the young catcher, Mr. Baldwin, he's still continuing to hit. They got a couple of blips on the radar, but as you two have so eloquently put it, if you don't have pitching, it don't make sense. And right now, the Braves pitching staff cannot hold up. It's got to be something made, a trade made, something, acquisition. I don't know. It's got to be some kind of bright light they got to go out and find, AA, where you can get somebody in here who may not be a name brand, high profile guy, but a solid guy to come in and bolster this. And I don't care what you do. You need to go and be radical. Take Iglesias out of the bullpen relievers, the closers. Take him out right now. No, ask no questions. Just tell him he's a spot reliever and put somebody else back there and let's see what happens. What else you got to lose? What else you got to lose? I'm going to be positive and say the Braves still got an outside chance to make the playoffs. But the more I say it, the more they moving outside the stadium, outside Truist Park. And then Red brought up a good point. You got the All-Star game at Truist Park, where everybody going to descend upon the Battery, the bright lights, big city, and everything. And the Braves will be there in the clubhouse, in the press box watching. Because they don't have many representatives at the game other than watching, not in the dugout. Because nobody's going to be worthy. And that's not a typical Braves thing. And I'm going to say one more thing that I saw that just disappointed me, that they just refused to do. And me being a baseball guy from back in the days, why is it the Braves get me in on second and third and no outs and won't try anything like a suicide bunt squeeze? They do not play small ball at all. I do not understand why you think you got such a slugging team that, oh yeah, don't worry, we can get somebody to get up there and knock it out the park every time we get men on second and third. Try bunting the run in and see what happens. Especially you got speed like Albies at third base or something like that. Try something different. Brian Snitke, I just don't understand that you have pieces, but you don't want to do different things. You status quo. And if you keep doing this, everybody around here, all Braves fans are like, are so used to the playoffs, you can't disappoint them. You can't disappoint a team that's so used to the playoffs every year, and you come in, you may not make the playoffs. What's going to also need to happen is our own Reverend Dr. Michael Harris needs to somehow come to a couple of games, because every time he comes to the game, the Braves find their way to winning and start on a streak or something. So he may need to tiptoe down here for a game or two and rev up the team, in so many words, and go to the game, sitting in the outfield, maybe catch a fly ball or something, hit it to rev. He in left center, home run, let's go. You got to make changes when you see that what's not working is not working. It's not rocket science. And I don't know why people always say rocket science, because that's not easy. Just
Right.
don't say it's not calculus or trigonometry or something like that, some of those hard subjects. Braves, you haven't played 80 games yet. So I got hope for you. But hope fades. And remember, I go back to what Rev said before. Said last week. Too much is given, much is required. And y'all been given some talent, and you're required to win. But Brian Snitker, they ain't above firing you, even though they won't. But they shouldn't be above firing you. Call Ron Washington back.
Well,
All
that's
these
really
long-term contracts gave out, man.
that's really who the manager should be. Snitker was blessed with the fact that AA did a great GM job when they won the World Series in 2021. Nobody has ever seen Snitker just outmanage another manager. Then with this team, like, he keeps juggling the lineup too much. You got Riley in the second spot, Albie sometimes in the second spot. It's just too much juggling where these guys need to be comfortable where they're going to be hitting so that they can
Drake
get
Baldwin in the
mentally
second
good.
spot.
Yeah, Baldwin's in the second spot when he plays. And, here's the thing. If you're not really trying to compete this year, then they need to find a trade partner for Marcell Ozuna.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
If he's not in the future, if you don't plan on re-signing him, then you might as well let him go. Then you can platoon Sean Murphy and Drake Baldwin as your catcher DH and let them do it that way, so that you still have somebody serviceable. There's no need to keep losing and keep Marcell, and you don't have any plans on re-signing them, then you get nothing for him. So get something for him, a prospect or something, and then ship him out of there so, you can move forward. But this bullpen is terrible in comparison to last year's bullpen.
Ugh.
I have no confidence in hardly any of the players in the bullpen. Nobody has shown themselves to be respectable help. And with Dazabel Hernandez, he's been terrible lately.
Oh, that was awful. That was awful. I was listening to it at work, and just awful, man. And Rev, like I say, Coach, y'all tell me this. Well, I think I'm gonna talk about it, but like I say, Profar, he's become no use now. I mean, if we going nowhere fast, what are we bringing him back for? It's not like he can play in the playoffs anyway. And the fact that you ain't played through, we ought to start looking for a trade for you now, because this year's wasted. You ain't got but 2 years left with us anyway. You never really. I just don't think he would be a good addition to the team, especially with the bad news he's already had since he's been here. Just ship him on the way. Don't bring that I don't like the C word, but don't bring that disease to the team. Just ship them on out. Find another left field candidate. I'm just saying, Alec to me just ain't doing good. There were options. There were options this offseason. And Alex, I don't know, he just ain't doing his due diligence. He's just getting cocky. You think, I don't know if you think the minor league system got enough, or maybe you think your lineup is enough. No, dude, you never stop improving. It's like you won the World Series and had that great 2023, and it's like he's content. And no, boy, you don't never get content, man. And look where we at now. You don't let all these guys walk. Freeman, Dansby. Look where we at now. Don't have a shortstop. Our pitching rotation is trash. And personally, if you ask me who I prefer at first base over Matt Olson and Freeman, I was choosing over Olson, even though Olson can rate just like Freeman can rate. It's the batting average. It's the consistent hitting that Freeman offers up every day. Olson, he's a streaky hitter. You know, he'll have a few games or a week or two where he's hitting, and next thing you know, he's back in the doghouse again. He was up to 250, now he's batting 230 again. Like I say, he's just our hitters are just so inconsistent, man. And with Freeman leading the lineup, you knew his consistency would just prevail all over the lineup. Now we don't have now Ron Acuna. That might be an answer because he's probably the best pure hitter on the team. Maybe he can hit 300 as lead off, but I mean, him coming off the injury, we just can't ask him to carry the team. You know, coming off of ACL injury. You know, I don't know, man. I don't know right now. The Braves, you just got too many question marks right now.
So you started hitting on something else that I wanted to talk about. I think one of the biggest problems with the Braves is in the clubhouse amongst the players, and that is they don't really have a verbal team leader. Like Freeman was the team leader. Some could say Swanson was a team leader. But the rest of these guys, I think they're jokesters. They like joking with each other, but they're not leaders. And that's one of the things that the Braves are missing, and that's a leader in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
All right. So we've started the music since you started the conversation. So what did you conclude, Red, about Profar being welcome back? You got 1 minute. Go.
Okay. It's just like, look, man, spend the 80 games. That's pretty much half the season anyway. And when you look at the team, dude, we going nowhere fast. What do you possibly think you can offer? And even if you did come back and offer us anything, guess what? When you suspended for PEDs, you're not going to play in the playoffs. So whatever he was to offer us, let's say we made the playoffs, we wouldn't have none of it in the playoffs. So that's my whole thing. Why bring you back at all? You already missed half the season. It's not been a good season. You're not bringing leadership to the clubhouse. I don't see what you can bring to the clubhouse that can help this team at present right now. So whatever we did with Marcell Ozuna in 2021, we need to do the same thing with Profar. He can get paid. He can stay around, maybe hang out in the dugout or whatnot, but I just don't think he'll add anything to this team. Maybe we just need to sit him out for the whole season because, like I said, we're going nowhere fast, and he's not really a true Brave. I mean, I look to trade him in the offseason. Send him back to San Diego. Send him back to the West Coast. So, but you're not a Brave, and I don't think we need you at all.
Coach.
It's a simple sentence. You ain't got to go that far with it. Take the first 3 letters out of his name and put SO in front of it. Profar, you need to stay so far away from the Braves that they don't need to see you because you can't do anything for them this year. There's nothing you can do.
Pretty much.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. And you,
Real, what you got?
I think the point that you made in terms of how he's not eligible for the playoffs makes me lean towards not bringing him back unless you just need him to help you get into the pennant. But then, you know, if he's a big spark, then you're not going to have that spark in the playoffs. So what's the use? So it's like a catch-22. The catch-22. All right, on to the next topic. Roddy White versus Kyle Shanahan. As Julio and Roddy White were talking in a podcast. Coach, what do you have to say about this?
I believe in old school. If you got something to say it to the person's face. Don't get behind their back and say something, then change and flip it in the middle of the ocean. Come on, man. You got something to say it. You know what's on your mind. Say it. Don't be afraid of anybody. What they gonna do? Nothing. If you feel that you were wrong, y'all got your podcast. See if Shanahan will come on the show and talk, tell him all that. I bet that won't happen on either side. Big deal. I don't care about this feud. These little mini feuds, these folks making up microwave feuds, gets on my nerve just so somebody listen to your podcast. Bye.
Trey, your thoughts?
Well, to be honest, Coach, Kyle did tell Roddy this to his face that he was no longer a top option. Yeah, he told him, man, that's what set him off. And I think Roddy been holding on this the whole time. But yeah, Kyle told Roddy right before the Super Bowl season that, dude, you're not an option in the offense. And I guess Roddy was in his feelings. But if you think about it, Roddy, Shanahan might have been right, because the next season we had a historic offense, that 2016 offense without you. But at the same time, being a Roddy fan, it's just hard for me to believe that he couldn't offer nothing to our 2016 offense, even though the offense was built on speed and Roddy was losing a step. It's just maybe it's just the fan in me. It's just hard to believe Roddy couldn't offer nothing to our 2016 team. But I mean, we do know he was losing a step, and that team was full of speed with Gabriel, Sanu, Julio, and tight end. So, Rev, maybe you can add something to it. Was Roddy past his prime? Would he have added anything to 2016? Was Shanahan right?
Shanahan wound up being right because he had one of the most prolific offenses once it was all said and done. And in order for it to get to the point where it was, Roddy White was no longer in the equation. So, you got to lean toward Kyle Shanahan because he had a historic offense when it was all said and done. And when he left, that's when we witnessed the epic collapse of the Falcons. So obviously Shanahan knew what he was talking about and knew that Roddy White wasn't one of the cards he needed to turn this offense into one of the best offenses that the NFL had seen in its history. So I got to lean toward Kyle Shanahan. Red, you back on deck? I mean, Coach.
Oh, sorry.
No, is it Red? You back on deck? Yeah, Red, you back on deck. Most overpaid player in the NFL. What says you about this topic?
Some of the players I was hearing have been like, you got Trevor Lawrence, you got, of course, there's always gonna be a quarterback. You got Brock Purdy up in there, you got Russell Wilson. But personally, the guy who I had was the guy I said on my page this week. I say Dak Prescott is the most overpaid player because, dude, there are years you haven't been hurt, and you still haven't led the Cowboys nowhere. I know you were hurt last year, and I know you were hurt that season that your ankle got injured. But what about the other years when y'all were balling and you went to the playoffs and didn't do anything and I don't know what your playoff record is, but I can promise you it's probably leaning on the Matt Ryan playoff record list. Record. And like I say, dude, making what, $60 million, man. And this is what you giving the Cowboys, man. I see why guys like Maceo in the transfer portal for new teams, because when you got a quarterback like Dak that's being overpaid, like Rev said, if you ain't giving me Patrick Mahomes numbers and production, dude, don't talk to me about market value, okay? So bump that market value for Dak, dude. You ain't giving the Cowboys nothing for that $60 million. So my guy's Dak.
I go with Trevor Lawrence. Trevor, you getting a lot of money, and I haven't heard Jacksonville in anything playoff wise, or even remotely winning the AFC South. You know, yeah, everybody loves sunshine, but the sun ain't shining in Jacksonville. And now you got a coach down there who y'all got to teach how to say Duval. You think that's going to help you win some games? I don't know. And Trevor, you coming off a big injury, so you got to show and prove this year, my brother. You got to win 10 plus games. I haven't seen it, so I go with Trevor Lawrence.
Better hope Travis Hunter show out for him.
So I'm gonna go with Brock Purdy because there's nothing that tells me that he can live up to that contract, especially when all his weapons are not there. And some of those weapons are going to be cut down because of his contract. And we've already seen him when he was 100,000 there, and when he didn't have all hands on deck, he was half the quarterback that he showed when all of the players were on the field. So I have no faith in that contract that they gave Brock Purdy, which makes him one of the wealthiest players in the NFL. Let's see here. Joe Black said Kirk Cousins or Deshaun Watson. Now that at least 2 of those years are off Deshaun Watson's contract, it doesn't seem as bad anymore, even though it's still guaranteed. But those are some good choices right there, Joe Black. No doubt about it.
It's one we forgot.
Yeah, it look like that. Deshaun Watson might be a bargain now compared to some of these good salaries.
Yeah, where he is now, yeah. Go ahead, Coach. Lost word on it.
Forgot about Daniel Jones.
Well, yeah, but he was only making $30 million. So, yeah, you can put that up there. All right, Coach, we're coming at you, man. Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen, who needs the ring more? What says you?
Ooh, this is a tough call right here. I'm going to go with Josh Allen because the whispers are getting louder and louder every year for him being the so-called, oh, he's so big and tough. Oh, he does this. Oh, he does that. But every year, Patrick Mahomes looks at him and smiles and says, thank you for coming. God bless you. Good night. Josh Allen is the one that they got to talk about because he's supposed to be so much better. MVP, all that. I know Lamar MVP, but I think the pressure is more on Josh Allen this year than anything. And if he doesn't get it done this year with that schedule they got, which is pretty weak, then they're going to be looking to tell Sean, the coach for the Bills, it's time to go.
Coach, I got to disagree with you. It's got to be Lamar Jackson, man. Buffalo, when you think about it, they so laid back down there. I mean, former regime, shoot, they lost 4 Super Bowls, and they still love Jim Kelly. Josh Allen, as long as he keep making the playoffs and winning games, new stadium coming in a couple of years. Hey, I know they want a ring, but if Josh Allen finish his career with no ring, yeah, he'll fit right into the other great players in Buffalo. You know, getting all the way close to the top and never closing the deal. So, welcome to the club, Josh Allen. You're gonna be a Buffalo Bill for life. Now, Coach, can you imagine Lamar Jackson ending his career with no ring? I mean, Trent Dilfer won a ring, Joe Flacco won a ring, and none of them were MVPs. Lamar, you don't been MVP twice with Baltimore Ravens, a team that's known for championships with all they. I'm not counting. I'm just thinking about from '96 on. I'm not counting the old Cleveland Browns. So I'm sorry. When you part of the Ravens, you just like the Steelers. They expect championships and 2 MVPs, and y'all ain't made a Super Bowl in 10 plus years. I'm sorry. Lamar Jackson need that ring more than Josh Allen. And man, sad thing is, one of them ain't gonna get it again this year. Only one can get it.
Yeah, I don't like Lamar Jackson.
Oh yeah, I know.
Going back, Joe Black said, Coach, we are very excited about Trevor down here. He lives in Jacksonville. He also said Josh Allen is closer to 30. He needs it more. I'm going to have to roll with what Red said on that because at the end of the day, Baltimore has a Super Bowl pedigree and Buffalo doesn't. If Josh Allen doesn't, and I guess we're talking more so for their respective cities, more so than the NFL. Because if Josh Allen doesn't win it, that's nothing new for Buffalo. Right? But then when Red makes a point, how can your MVP winning or multiple MVP winning quarterback making all that money not be on par with Trent Dilfer and Joe Flacco? That's hard to wrap your mind around as a Baltimore Raven fan. So from a city perspective, I would definitely have to agree with Red that it's going to look worse if Lamar Jackson doesn't win it than Josh Allen, especially since he has multiple MVPs. All right, last topic, 5 for 5, gentlemen. Going to the basketball court. We know that Zion Williams has injury problems on the court and female problems off the court. Red, are you ready to call him a bust? What says you?
Well, I mean, I've been ready to be honest with you, man. But you try to be fair. You know, he tries to come back each year. He says he's in shape. We've seen what he can do when he's played a little consistently and in shape. But dude, you just can't sustain it. And in the NBA, it's about sustaining the great play for a period of time. And that's your problem. You cannot sustain it, Zion, for a period of time. You have a few games. You even have 1 or 2 good months. But eventually, some injury will come out of nowhere that'll have you sidelined. And then you'll sit on the sideline and do nothing but gain weight. Because for some reason, your body just doesn't react to you not working out or being athletic. If you're running up and down the floor every night, that's one thing. But when you sit on the sideline not doing nothing, and that's another thing. And I just think his off-season activities, his exercise regimen, his diet, all that combined, just not done him any favors. And now it seems like he's about to have some legal problems too. That's just not good. I mean, the Pelicans already been disappointed in you without the legal problems. Now you add legal issues to it, dude. Sorry, man. Trust me, as soon as the trade comes and they can make a trade for him, he's going to be out of New Orleans so fast. But I doubt whatever team get him is going to be happy he's coming. Because like you say, this is a bust, number 1 bust. Greg Oden, don't see him winning. Don't see him living up to the number 1 hype at all. So, yes, he's definitely a bust.
Coach.
I don't know how you can really call. I know you've been struggling with playing, but this guy still, his career average is 24 points a game. I don't know any many busts that average 24 points a game while they playing. I mean, sure, you got these off the court issues that seem to be derailing him, but when he's on the court, he's pretty productive out there. So I don't know if I want to call him a bust just yet. I think he still can play. Just got to get on the court and play. So,
Coach, he averaged 24 points a game and about 24 pieces of pizza a night.
Hey, as long as he scores when he get on the court, I don't have a problem with that.
Maurice Thorne says Zion Williamson is a bust, period, from his weight issues to his off-the-court drama. He's just been a headache from day one, and that's a shame. Well, I think he was drafted to the worst city you could try to die in. You just don't go to New Orleans to be on a diet. Anybody who's ever had that kind of food, and if you're a seafood lover, you just don't go to Louisiana to die. I mean, That's where you go to get more. That's where you go to get diabetes. That's where you go to get high blood pressure. I mean, that's just how good their food is, And I knew it was going to be a problem trying to have him trimmed down in New Orleans. He needed to go like to Oklahoma City, somewhere like that, where there's not as much temptation. But everybody, when I tell you, like everybody can cook in Louisiana, everybody can cook. I mean, like when Katrina happened in Atlanta, I dated a couple of women from Louisiana. My dad had some members who were from Louisiana, and every last one of those folks can cook. I mean, that's just the worst place for Zion. But going back to the court, I'm not willing to call him a complete bust yet, because has he lived up to the hype? Absolutely not. Is he just a complete bust? No, it's kind of hard to say somebody averaging 24 points when he plays is a bust. And then when you compare him to other number one draft picks, he's had a better career than Michael Olakawandi, Kwame Brown, Greg Oden, the other guy who was drafted number one for Cleveland.
Michael Bennett,
yeah. So when you look at those guys, Zion is not in that realm of terrible.
Got all about that guy.
Yeah, but if you say, has he been a bust when it comes to the height? Like he was supposed to be a phenomenon. He has definitely been a bust when it comes to that. Maurice says, that's true, Rev. The jambalaya, dirty rice, and the beignets are addictive. Zion needs a change of scenery. No doubt about it.
He hadn't bust his pants yet, so he's been from beignets to boudin.
Yeah. That it's just too much, man. It's too much food temptation there for you to try to lose weight. All right, gentlemen, we've come to the end of the road, as boys the men would say, and let's get ready to do. He said, "Y'all calling Kwame a bust drove him crazy." Let's go with you have the right. Who has the right to do what, when, where, and how? Red, you normally lead us, man. So go ahead on and do it. Who has the right to do what, when, where, how?
He's asleep.
Red, you're
all
on.
Righty. Oh, Falcons, NFL football. Oh, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, all right. Oh, okay. Falcons. Okay. Falcons, UGA football period. You have the right to hurry up and get back, and I mean get back in a hurry, man. Lord have mercy. When your baseball team suck, it just ruins your whole summer, man. And I can already tell my baseball team gonna be sucking. My NBA season is over with, so I need my Falcons and Bulldogs to hurry up on to get back. And for what I'm seeing, things I'm seeing from Jalen Walker, Rev, and things I'm hearing about these guys, oh my God, Rev, I ain't gonna lie, this Falcons pass draft, the way these two guys, what I'm hearing about these guys, it might make you come on back home, Rev. You might come on back home. This defense can do the things that I think we're gonna do, but we'll see, man. I'm so excited. So the Falcons, you have the right to keep coaching Jalen Walker and piercing that defense up and hurry up and get back so I can see my Falcons crack some wood, baby, because I just got a feeling it's going to be the Falcon season I've finally been waiting on after the Arthur Smith era, we had an okay year last year to the Kirk Cousins injury and that idiot Raheem blowing the Redskins game. But other than that, man, with the pieces we don't add in the offseason, I am ready. I got my quarterback. I got my offense. Look like I got my defense. Let's go. Rise up, Falcons. You got the right to hurry up and get back to me. A quick, fast, in a hurry. Like Rev said last week, expeditiously.
Now, I'm gonna be consistent since I got on Coach about being consistent. Red, I can't let you get away with these comments about these draft picks being all that and then some, and we still in OTAs. Come on, man. Let's stop. Just like Coach, somebody was ready to crown Shador. Somebody was ready to crown Shador in OTAs now. So I'm not gonna let you do it until September. So I'm gonna go before Coach because I'm gonna play off Reds. You have the right. Falcons, you have the right to meet Reg's expectations for your team. Because if the Falcons don't do what Red is expecting them to do, and that is to be good, as he oftentimes says, you're going to feel his wrath for the entire season. So, Falcons, please, for the sake of people's Facebook eyes on posts, for the sake of people's ears, do what Red is expecting your team to do. So you have the right to meet his expectations in May, in the fall. All right? Coach, who has the right to do what, when, where, how to close us out?
Kirk Cousins, you have the right to hurry up and report to Falcons camp. They're going to need you this season. And I think you'll be a great addition as a backup quarterback. So, Kirk Cousins, get your agent on the phone and say, I'm ready to come into camp. You have a right to report to Falcons camp.
Is that a ploy not for him to be traded to the Steelers? Is that
you doggone right it is. Yes, indeed. Because if he walks on that field in black and gold, there'll be a show dedicated to Coach looking at the transfer portal.
But Joe Black said tomorrow is June 1st. You have the right to trade Kirk Cousins to New Orleans or Pittsburgh Falcons.
Joe, here's a word for you, Joe. Talk to your coach down there in Jacksonville, your other coach, and tell him Duval. Tell him that. Don't bother. Don't send Kirk Cousins. No, New Orleans, y'all can have him. Hug him, and he's a valuable quarterback. He just not wearing. That's the black and gold he should be wearing. They got Spencer Rattler as their starting quarterback. Yeah, go to New Orleans. They need help.
Coach, is Mason Rudolph better than any of those guys you mentioned?
Coach,
better than who?
Any of those guys you just mentioned? Kirk Cousins. Is he better than Spencer Rattler?
Yeah, he better than Spencer Rattler. Heck yeah.
All right, we'll see. We will definitely see. Well, we got to thank people for watching episode 379 of the Red and Rev Sports Show. We'll be back, same Facebook page, same YouTube channel at the same time next Saturday at 11 a.m. We appreciate Rev Night Nation for holding it down. Please share this broadcast with somebody. Let somebody know that you were watching the Red and Rev Sports Show, and your share might lead somebody to Rev Night Nation. Great job, Red. Great job, Coach. Until next week, episode 380. Peace and love, everybody. Have a great week. We're out of here.
Hey, Jameson. How you doing, Jameson?
He said, I want to see Kirk throwing deep balls in Pittsburgh.
When they come to play him in a game, in a preseason game, yes, sir. All day.
Right. That's funny. Y'all, everybody have a good one. That was funny.
That'll be so sad.
Coach, you're gonna talk him right up into Pittsburgh.
Nope.